Hello students, welcome back to our Science and Technology digital class. I hope you all are learning at home and have understood the previous lessons, that is lesson number 9 social health and lesson number 10 disaster management. Ecosystem. In previous standards we have learnt about what is ecosystem and factors related to it. Just observe the picture. Ecosystem means whatever living and non-living factors we see in our surrounding is nothing but ecosystem. There is an interaction between these living and non-living factors, that is biotic and abiotic factors present in our surrounding. If we take an example of pond ecosystem, it has biotic factors such as fishes, aquatic plants and some microorganisms. It also has non-living factors, that is abiotic factors such as sunlight, water, oxygen, etc. If water in pond is getting adequate amount of sunlight and oxygen, fishes are going to survive in the pond. So, ecosystem can be defined as area in which a community lives with interactions taking place among the organisms between the community and its non-living physical environment. An ecosystem is formed by the interactions between all living and non-living things. So, environment plays very important role in our life. If this environment gets unbalanced, which disasters may arrive in our life, that we have already learnt in lesson number 10. Therefore, this environment should get conserved or managed. So students, we are going to start lesson number 4, environmental management. Hope you all must have opened the textbooks. Students, can you recall this picture? In an ecosystem, biotic, that is living factors, are interdependent on each other for food and which forms the food chain. In this food chain, green plants will produce the food with the help of sunlight and water, and so they are the producers. These green plants will get eaten up by herbivores or primary consumers. Here, grasshopper is a primary consumer. It will get further eaten up by frog, which is secondary consumer. Frog will be eaten up by snake, which is at the third level, that is tertiary consumer. Hawk or eagle will be at the top level, as it will not get eaten up by any other animal. So, it is an apex consumer. When the animals die, their bodies get decomposed into the soil by decomposers. Decomposers play very important role in the food chain. They are responsible for cleaning the environment. So all these factors in the food chain are very important to us. Can you recall this? Various trophic levels in food chain and energy pyramid, which we have studied in standard 9th. In an energy pyramid, producers form the base of the pyramid and apex consumers form the tip of the energy pyramid. Just look at this flow chart. Your textbook page number 37. You have to fill up the chart with appropriate words. Our ecosystem is divided into two main components, such as abiotic components and biotic components. The abiotic are further classified as physical factors and chemical factors. Biotic are further classified as autotrophic and heterotrophic, depending on nutrition. Autotrophic are known as producers. Green plants are the producers. Heterotrophic are further divided as animals and decomposers. Animals are known as consumers, which are further divided as primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. Bacteria are the decomposers of the ecosystem. So just fill up this chart in the textbook. Now students, just see textbook page number 37 below the flow chart. Nowadays, around our Lonavala, as rainy season is going on, everywhere rice crop is getting cultivated. Rice crop is also known as paddy crop. So, paddy is cultivated on large scale in various states of South India. Paddy fields are frequently attacked by grasshoppers. Similarly, frogs are also present in large number in the mud of paddy fields to feed upon grasshoppers, and snakes are also present therein to feed upon their favorite food, frogs. Students, in the earlier slide we have already seen the food chain. However, if frog population declines all of a sudden, what will happen? Let's think. What will be the effect on paddy crop? Number of which consumers will decline and which will increase? What will be overall effect on the ecosystem? Just think. Production of paddy crop will decrease as number of grasshoppers will increase in number. Number of snakes will decline as they will depend on frog as food. And number of grasshoppers will increase as they will not get eaten up by frogs. There will be disturbance in the flow of food chain and the whole paddy field ecosystem will get disturbed. So students, there is relationship between environment and ecosystem. Environment is a broad concept. Physical, chemical and biological factors affecting the living organisms in any possible way is collectively called as environment. In short, environment is the condition in the surrounding. It includes many biotic, abiotic components and their interrelationships, which is nothing but ecosystem. We have studied the some ecosystems in previous classes, such as desert ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, and so on. Our earth is the largest ecosystem. In brief, biotic and abiotic factors occupying a definite geographical area and their interactions collectively constitute the ecosystem. Environmental balance is maintained through continuous operation of various natural cycles like water cycle, carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, etc. Environmental balance is also maintained through various food chains of ecosystem. So, there are various factors which affect the ecosystem or environment. These factors are some natural factors and man-made factors which harm the environment and which creates imbalance between various factors of the environment, which ultimately affects the existence of biotic factors. So, natural factors which affect the environment are earthquake, floods, volcano, famines, cyclones, etc. Man-made factors are deforestation, urbanization, pollution, acid rain, etc. Some of these factors affect the environment and can cause the destruction. We have already seen in disaster management lesson. Environmental pollution is one of the main factors which imbalances the environment. Basically, there are main 4 types of pollution: air pollution, water pollution, land or soil pollution, sound or noise pollution. Various reasons like population explosion, fast industrialization, and indiscriminate use of natural resources, deforestation, and unplanned urbanization are responsible for environmental pollution. Ultimate adverse effect of all these is on existence of all the living organisms, and out of this environmental conservation has become the need of hour. Just see textbook page number 39. You have to complete the chart and write down in the notebook. So, there are basically three main types: air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. Which are the components which are responsible for pollution? Air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. All these factors have been explained over here. Which are the sources of the pollution, and what may be the effects of these pollutions on animals as well as on humans as well as on plants. So, how we can reduce all these pollutions, that is controlling measures, they have been also given in this chart. So, just complete this chart. Developed countries like USA and Russia also faces one more pollution, that is radioactive pollution. It may occur because of two reasons, such as natural and artificial. Ultraviolet rays and infrared radiations are natural radiations. X-rays and radiations from atomic energy plants are artificial radiations. Effect of these radiations are cancerous ulceration due to higher radiation X-rays, genetic changes in the bodies of animals, tissues in the body get destroyed, that is cancerous growth, vision gets adversely affected. So, these are the effects of radioactive pollution. General public is not aware about the rules of environment conservation. There should be large scale participation of people in environment conservation. It will be possible to answer the environmental problems only if environmental protection conservation becomes an effective public movement. For this purpose, values like positive attitude and affection towards the environment, knowledge about it, etc. must be there. All these things should get inculcated among the children since their childhood. This will help to make the future generations more aware about environmental conservation and protection. So as to achieve this, it is necessary to increase the awareness through education. So there is a need of environmental conservation. Just see textbook page number 40 flowchart. Need of environmental conservation. To maintain the clean pollution-free air, water and land, to conserve the natural resources, to solve the natural and artificial problems, to give quality of life and sustainable future to next generations, to protect and conserve the biodiversity, to maintain the balance in nature. So all these things are necessary for environmental conservation, and so there is a need of environmental conservation. Environmental conservation is our social responsibility. Since existence of human, there is interrelationship between human and environment. On the earth, human being proved its superiority as compared to other animals with the help of characters like intelligence, memory, imaginary ability, etc. Human established domination over the nature. Human utilized all the natural resources as much as possible for his progress. So, environmental conservation is our social responsibility. If human has disturbed the environmental balance, then human itself only can conserve and improve the quality of nature. So, there are some laws which are enacted about environmental conservation. So, these are some laws which have been enacted in India which are known as environmental acts, such as the Wild Protection Act 1972, Water, that is Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, the Water, again Prevention and Control of Prevention Cess Act 1977, the Forest Conservation Act 1980, Air Pollution Act 1981, the Environment Act 1986. So students, we are going to stop here and will continue the next part in the next video. Till that, you all read the lesson thoroughly, mark the important points, complete the charts from the textbook. Thank you.